we were going around and things were going along fine, and we were trotting around and I was trying to get him to canter, and he didn't seem like he wanted to very bad, so I asked him a little bit harder, and then for some reason he just blew up. I went down head first, and I caught my shoulder on one of these crossbars on the panel, and that dislocated my shoulder to the back and tore everything off of it.
Often there'll be 2 tendons torn with a dislocation, sometimes 3. I think I've seen probably 3 people that had 3. He's the only person I've seen that had absolutely nothing left that was attached to the humeral head. So he had torn all 4 rotator cuff tendons, all the capsule, everything was avulsed from the humeral head.
The one thing I wanted to do most after this was get back to roping. And so I was just determined that I wasn't gonna end on an injury.
The challenge with the patient is, I think, oftentimes more psychological than physical. Coming to grips with the fact that, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to rope like I used to rope, or whatever it may be that they did. So I think those things are always in their mind. But in Mark's case, he was just so determined and so persistent that pretty soon I just said to myself, this guy's he's gonna do it.
Tony would, every once in a while, he'd ask me, does that hurt or is that good? And I'd say, well, just do whatever you gotta do. If it's gotta hurt, then it's gotta hurt.
Most rotator cuffs you're done at 12 weeks, so 3 months' time. In his case, he took twice that, and it paid off.
I was gonna stay there no matter how long it took until I had a roping shoulder.
I always try to communicate with my patient after surgery or challenging surgery or one that I know has a lot of rehab, the importance of the rehab. It doesn't matter what kind of job I do, fixing the tendon, if the patient doesn't take care of it and they don't have the appropriate rehab, they're not going to do well.
You have to have good material. You have to have a good repair. You have to have somebody doing good work.
Seeing folks like Mark that make a nice recovery and are back where close to or at the spot where they were before they got hurt, and that's one of the real treasures in being an orthopedic surgeon.
It was quite a process, and he was very, very determined individual.
Medical excellence, right here at home.